Whew. All right. So, I've been feeling a little off today, and I was wondering if this was going to be the emotional drop. My emotions usually, when I have a really good day or a good week, it really takes a dive afterwards. And I'm just here with it. So, I want to start listing off the strategies with which I will self coach myself through this moment. And I also have these cheat sheets that I do that I redraw every single day. And that's one of the strategies that really helps me ground. So especially one of these days when I feel really disconnected, I've narrowed down that feeling to when I don't know what to do. This is super, super important. Even if I was feeling um, off, but then I start doing physical tasks and I get them done, I start feeling better. Especially the critical tasks that I know are unavoidable, things that I just have to do no matter what. So, this is what I know. When I'm in the in between, when I don't really know what to do, I'm kind of in free time, but I'm not. This is usually where ah I fall into the emotional sea. So one of the ways that I've been thinking about is to really focus on what am I actually doing? What is my physical body? Where is it physically? So oftentimes, when I feel terrible, I want to feel better. So I activate my trauma shields. And now I'm stuck. This is usually where I am. So I'm either watching a video somewhere, I'm lost in Facebook scrolling, reading something. I put video games in here, but I don't usually do that, but I leave it as an option for people. Okay. So I'm usually here. And also what I've been allowing is to not do that and to simply sit there in the emotional sea, feeling the overwhelm. Because even in my talk, I talk about like, in order to process the emotional sea, the really hard emotions that I don't want to feel, well, one, I need to feel them in order for my body to process them. So one of the ways is really just to sit with it and do nothing. Just be with the emotions. So that's one of the things I do. Okay, let's list them out. One, know what to do and do it. So that is, in the morning, that's a morning routine. These are unavoidable. Evening routine. The problem is somewhere in between there's this extra time. And then there's a list of things. So, the list. Ooh, okay. So this is the game. So these are the games that I am in. The emotional game. So if I'm not getting anything physically done, It's because I'm in the emotional game. There's always a game running. There's no way around it. Um, if I'm in the emotional game and it feels too hard, I would want to look for escape. If I'm doing something physical, I am in the physical game. Most of my morning routine is like that. You know, protein, vitamins, shaving, brushing my teeth, etc. Then I was doing the Cray Hang and the Kintsugi live, the not live, Zoom. So that is me being social and emotional. So I did two. So I did not do anything. So there was 2 hours each of emotional and social. And that's one of my highest priorities. So it feels like I did nothing. Oh, here's another way. Log what I did here. Log successes. Right? So I actually put a lot of coin in the bank, right? So this is the bank. Health, wealth, relationship. 1, 2, 3. So with emotional relationship training, it is here and emotional, mental, emotional health. So it's mostly relationship shadow. Okay. It is self-judgment and self-hurt and the skill. I don't have skill on here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Um, I will put that here. This must be skill. Okay. Right, so my boundaries are no's. I'm pretty good at that. But my yeses are not as clear, so yes, it's right here. So I put 4 hours into here, relationship, plus I did it with my partner. So, there's a couple hours here. And then I had a phone call with her as well. So there, I made a text to a friend. So these are the points that I'm scoring so that I can uh, challenge is not the right word. Like challenge this feeling, this story that like, oh, I did nothing for 6 hours, which is not true. Um, from 9 until 1, right? So this is the clock. Objectively, from 9 until 1, this is 4 hours of value that I added. I ate some food and then I got really tired and I think I took a nap here. It was just, I crashed. And 6 o'clock, we're right around here. I'm doing a live video. Okay. So really, there's a phone call somewhere in here, 4, 5, here. So there's really 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. That's the question. What happened? This this segment was me coming out of the 4 hours of Zoom relationship training, emotional training, and then me having lunch and then really crashing afterwards. So let's just count it from here. So really 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I folded laundry and I put that away. So I got, a bit here. Where did 2 hours go? Hmm. I did do white paper, right? So I haven't really not done anything. All right. So log, time log. That's another strategy. The games we are playing. If I am ruminating, if I'm sitting here just like, here's the other game. This is the four traps. If I'm watching shows or something, that's distraction. I have to resist or absorb the temptation, the desire. So that's base of desire. Fear, fear makes it so that I don't start certain things. I never even start. And once I start, I am in overwhelm. So oftentimes I either drop into the emotional game. I'm always playing a game. Here's the thing. Instead of beating myself up for, oh, all this time wasted, there, I mean, I could say there's no such thing. And here is, okay, so in the emotional game, there's a dual game. So I am playing the game right now from a meta perspective. Okay. So one of it is the perfection. Let's put like a halo there. Another one is human. Um, monkey. So oftentimes I will do spiritual invalidation. So it is this weaving back and forth. It's like, oh, it's okay. There's no such thing as wasting time. Perfection. And yet, sometimes I do sit around and do nothing, or at least that's what it feels like. So it's like, oh, I want to do better. I want to. Mm. It is acknowledging the emotion without invalidating it with some sort of perfection statements, correction. Don't try to correct it. Simply acknowledge it and feel it and validate it. So this is the back and forth, back and forth. The emotional game. Da, 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 da. Sometimes I get angry, sometimes, and then it's like, oh, and then I know it's triggering my past traumas. And another part of me says, oh, I don't need to, feel this emotion. And then this other side says, oh, but just feel it. And then my other side says, oh, that person is doing their best. And then this side says, I can still feel the being angry and hurt and all the past things. So it's back and forth, back and forth. The emotional, what's the word? Oscillation. I'm spelling that incorrectly. I think it's two C's. Oscillation. Oscillation. Okay. Emotional oscillation. Is there a point where we integrate and it gets closer and closer? Maybe. Um, yeah. Okay. So my friend just got back to me saying, hey, let's do a call later. So again, like that's another point in social. I'm doing well. So I'm here self-coaching myself. It's not really falling as deep as I thought it would be, because normally when I have had such a good week, I would be crashing emotionally. But I'm holding myself now. Now, I know that I crash when I don't know what to do physically, physical actions. I have to focus on physical actions. And if I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or why I'm like when I feel lost, the physical domain is often where I go back to. It is my anchor. Like, okay, I don't know what just happened, like where I've been for the last hour sometimes. It's like, oh, okay. Usually it's because I have my phone. I'm in reality 3. Ooh, okay. Here's another game. Reality 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are the. Da, da, da. This would be my first brain. This is second brain, everything outside of me. Third brain or third reality. Um, R3. I am on my phone somewhere, watching a video, and I am stuck and I forget. So if I shift into the emotional game, it's no longer a wasted time because if I make improvements on my awareness of addiction, I will carry that skill for the rest of my existence. So, again, I'm earning points. So, where do I store them? Uh, okay, here is one way to map it, right? So, oftentimes when I feel overwhelmed, it feels like there's so many things to do, and then I end up doing none of it. I feel overwhelmed. The overwhelm triggers all sorts of anxieties and hurt and uh, just it throws me into the emotional sea. So then I get trapped in R3 here. I get trapped here, and I feel worse and worse. And then so from here, it's the emotional game. If I'm getting stuff done, it's the physical game. And I was training relationships. That's what I'm saying. Um, this morning's 4 hours was. So there's 4 drops. Uh, so skill, I guess, would be right here. This is skill. System skills or shadow. I'm working on all 3. How do I talk to people? How do I sit with the emotions, social emotions? How do I relate with people? Slowing down. Okay, that is this game. Hmm. And then there's the theater of the now, since I'm on live video. That's kind of relationship, emotional. That would be here. So another way I do emotional strength training is okay. So EST, emotional strength training. I did the Zoom hangs. I do live video, and within live video, I specifically activate Shadow Puppet Improv Theater Also, the theater of the now. Hmm. Okay. Which means I'm speaking to, again, this is the same thing, Shadow Puppet Theater. Eight billion people. I'm speaking as a representative of all humanity. And I imagine the entire imaginary audience just cheering me on because I'm showing them what it's like to be human. I'm mapping out the entire human experience for all 8 billion people. They're just cheering me on. And there is a critic section from all my internalized critical voices. Ooh, okay. That reminds me of the 5 phases of social unmasking that we just discovered yesterday or talked about yesterday. So, one, truth. Two, anticipated social rejection. Anticipated social rejection. Which also means when we've been made fun of in the past and the triggers that causes. Three is the response or the mask or the let's just say response. The mask. Four is feeling the incongruity, the split. Five is resolution. So here is the 5 phases of social um, integration, unmasking, of integration, social integration, internal social integration. Hmm. Hmm. So here's just the 5 phases, right? So here I am. In order to do these 5 steps, I externalized what was internalized. Oh, response mask must be my shadow. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Here's the shadow. So this is my chorus from inside. This is my imaginary audience. This is the imaginary critics. And this is the imaginary response to those critics. Ah! Writing crude freeze or explaining myself. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean that. Like, oh, like, I saw that in the person I was talking with in one of the Zoom calls. So I accept them both, right? So the response, so this is the mask. I feel the split. So this is understanding like why I get split because of this pain. And I'm trying to avoid this pain by trying to be here, but this isn't the truth. And so I am in resolution right now. Shadow Puppet Theater is my process to reintegrate the parts of me. Parts integration. Ooh, parts integration. Shadow work, parts integration. The names are a work in progress. So, right. Okay, so that's Shadow Puppet Improv Theater. Hmm. The different games we play, slowing down, knowing what levers I have in every single moment, one of the best levers is to slow down. I think it is dinner time. Okay, so what did we learn today? What did I learn today? Here's some of the strategies with which I am emotionally self-coaching myself. Okay? I know that if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in physical action land, I'm usually pretty emotionally steady. It's like, yes, I'm on track. If I hit a spot where I don't really know what I'm doing, I fall into the emotional sea. And why? It's because of overwhelm. I go because I don't know what to do. Okay, so number two is the emotional block, which is I don't know what to do. Right? I don't know what to do. That's usually what triggers overwhelm. And when it gets triggered, I can either stay in it and be here, or if I don't catch myself, I will find myself on my phone scrolling or watching a video. And then I would have dropped into R3, or I would be inside the trauma shield, and then I would work my way to putting that down, either just staying with the emotion or finding the next task so that I know what to do and I start doing it. And if I'm here, I can do that. I can find the levers that become invisible when I'm stressed out and I can manipulate them. I can slow down my speed. I can dance. I can hum. I can sing. I can sing anything. I can say anything, anything, anything. Okay. So that would be being in the sea, but not retreating into the emotional shielding. Um, I can log the things I did, and I can also white paper, which is kind of what I'm doing. So white paper is my way of solving because I don't know what to do. But this shows me where I am in the game, shows me what I should be doing. So then I'm getting back on the hill to solving overwhelm. Okay, I'm seeing the threads. Thread mm. Okay. And then the theater of the now is an emotional strength training exercise, the shadow exercise. So what kind of game is that's a shadow game? That's an intentional scheduled shadow training. So this is a live video shadow training. Then later I would call, having phone calls with people. So I'm actually doing a lot, despite how the feeling is. And I can allow the feeling to say, oh, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I allow the emotional truth and also meet it with reality and not invalidate the emotional truth because I know the emotional truth comes from a past where I was shamed for not doing enough. So I never feel like I'm doing enough. I always have to be constantly productive. Otherwise, I don't feel like I am enough. I'm wasting time. I'm like, ah, So, and I don't have the reward. Okay. I want to reward myself tonight because I've done a lot. I've done hours. I've done uh, laundry. Not as much as I would like, but I've done a lot. Like, look at that. And I did some emotional training by getting out of the sea and being here. And now I'm doing live video. So, yeah, by logging my successes, I remind myself this is the strategy. Okay, so that's one of the strategies. All right, so that is me emotionally self coaching myself. It is dinner time for me, so I'm going to wrap this up. I love you all. Till next time.